That's the number. Let me go to the lines. Hello, who's this?
Right here is JAZ O.
What's going on, man?
Hey, you know, same old same, grinding and pushing.
JAZ O in the building. And also my co-host Anonymous is on here. Anonymous, you there?
Yes, I'm right here. Hi, Diamond. Hi, JAZ O.
How you doing? What's good?
Fine, how are you?
Hey, you know, same old thing. I'm great.
That's what's up. And, of course, you calling us from, where you at right now?
Where I'm at?
Yeah, where you at?
Oh, I'm in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta with my feet up.
My old stomping grounds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I stayed in Buckhead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
so,
big baller.
Nah. So I guess we're going to jump right into it. A lot of people emailed me a lot of different questions. Some of them are good questions, and some of them are not. And I have my own questions. And Anonymous, I'm sure you have some too. But let me start with you, Anonymous. What is it that you want to ask a legendary figure like JAZ O?
You know, for some of the younger people, well, I guess first I would like to I want you to tell everybody who you are, because of course, most people know who you are, but just give us a good introduction of JAZ O himself.
Man, that's like a book, but
I know.
I'll be as short as possible, I guess. You know, I'm known as the originator. Way back when I was known as the Jazz. You know, in the 90s, you know, I coined myself as Big Jazz. I'm Marcy's real prodigy. You know, one of the first cats even out of Bed-Stuy to even get signed to a major record label.
Right.
I was signed to EMI in 1988. I'm the career starter and basic overall teacher for the most part of a guy named JAZ. I brought him into the business. I brought Chad Elliott into the business, Irv Gotti into the business. You know, I've done I actually did the one of the demos, like 3 demo songs that got the Lock signed to Bad Boy when they got signed to Bad Boy. And one of the songs Diddy had Debo from them is called I Got the Power, that I produced on the Way Out album. I produced Ain't No Nigga for Jay-Z, Rap Game for Jay-Z. Can y'all curse and say the N-word?
Yeah, yes, we can.
Definitely.
Okay, so I'm good.
Completely uncensored. And the line, you got the lines is completely full. I'm going to get to these calls in a minute, but go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I produced World Famous for MOP, Lifestyles of a Ghetto Child, and Born to Kill for MOP on their Firing Squad album. Shout out to MOP. Quarters in Session for Queen Latifah. Live With Yourself for Tricky from United Kingdom. I appeared on 2 OJ songs, Have You Had Your Love Today and Respect. I'm most known for from the hip hop archives for doing a song called Hawaiian Sophie in 1989. Right. Also for the Originators in 1990, where I introduced the triplet style to the world. And that's featuring Jay-Z.
A lot of people don't know that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I always, even as a DJ, I remember when the Originators came out, the 99 version, and I didn't understand why it was 99. I knew that meant that there had been a previous one, and I was unfamiliar with it until like a couple years later. That actually the one on the Hard Knock Life is actually a sequel.
Right, exactly. Except we ain't split it half. Like I'm on the end of the record. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. We gonna get into the war stuff.
I'm the comedy relief on that song. I had, you know what I'm saying? I had to put my foot down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
we got a call here. Let me take a call real quick. Is that all right?
That's fine with me.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Hello. Who is this? You on with JAZ O?
Yo, what it is? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, this Steve Penn calling in. You know what I'm saying, on the Diamond Cake Show, just listening, tuning in, representing that JAZ O. It's my dude, man, you know, showing our support, man. Dude is a vet, you know, a good friend of mine, and just showing love, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. I'm listening.
All right,
that's what's up. You check me in the mail, homie.
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, so that's good. That's good that we got, you know what I mean, people out there that definitely, you know, respect your accomplishments and things like that. Who influenced you to get into the game? I mean, we want to talk a little bit about the people that you influenced, but who influenced you to get into the game?
Well, initially, I got to give it up to my homie, who a lot of people would say is in the sky, but he's still in my heart. My man Eric Oliver, who lived on the 5th floor in 644 Park Ave in Marcy Houses. I lived on the 6th floor, and you know, our parents were very good friends, so we became very good friends. And it was these cats. For one, this cat named DJ Frankie D, who used to always jack the juice from the light poles and bring the music out. So what happened was one day, you know, Eric was like, yo, I'm going to write a rhyme, you know what I'm saying, write a rhyme. He's like, yo, you should write a rhyme. I was like, no, I don't want to write no rhyme. He's like, write a rhyme. Well, you can't do it. So you're like, let me write something real quick. So I wrote what I know today is like just a simple 8-bar verse, and he was going crazy, and that's basically what started it. But what made me really take it seriously is when they call it campus now in New York, but we went to me and my boy Steve Crosland. A lot of people say rest in peace, but you know, like I say, he's still in my heart, so he's still here to me. We went to High School of Music and the Arts, the old building that's on Convent Avenue and 135th Street. So long story short, that's when we got exposed to what was going on uptown. Like, you know, he was already DJing and I was already rhyming, but we were exposed to what was going on, like, you know, in Harlem and the Bronx at the time. And, you know, I heard a lot of cats with crazy skills, but when I heard Grandmaster Caz, that changed everything for me. And I was like, the you know, his vocal projection, you know, his timing, you know, his whole style. I don't really use that word swag. I got my own reasons for that. But, you know, his whole style was like that. He set the you know what I'm saying? He set the bar. Like, I got to be like that, you know, because everything I do, like, I got to be you know what I'm saying? I got to be at the apex of what's going on. And when I heard him, I was like, I haven't heard anything like that before. So that's what really motivated me, and that's what made me work on my timing, vocal projection, clarity, you know, just overall clarity, usage of poetic license, you know, for people who are not familiar, you know, like simile, when people say like or as, right, and metaphors, and, you know, it was just crazy, you know. And I had heard a lot of serious cats, you know. I heard Melly Mel, you know. There were a lot of other crews, you know, the Zulu Nation crews like the Jazzy 5 and, you know, Soul Sonic and everything else. But when I heard Caz and the way he, you know, he was the captain of the Cold Crush Brothers, you know, and I'm sure y'all know, but a lot of people don't know that that's even his rhyme on Rapper's Delight, when Big Bang Hank says, I'm the CASANOVA and the rest is FLY, because that was his name. He changed it to Grandmaster Caz, but he was originally Casanova Fly. He just gave him that rhyme, you know.
Oh, okay.
Did y'all know that?
No, I didn't.
I
didn't. Thank you for schooling me. Thank you.
Well, you
know,
Diamond says he knows everything. He thinks he knows everything.
No, it's not that. It's not that. And I guess I want to also, you mentioned it earlier, and I was definitely going to ask you about it. The Hawaiian Sophie song. Did you produce that?
Yeah, I produced it, and what's crazy is that I originally produced it when I went to record my album over in London. You know, I had these co-producers where, you know, the A&R was like, well, they're going to produce your album, and it's like, I don't really need them to produce my album, but, you know, the way I looked at it, I was like, well, you know, I got a $275,000 budget, and I got a serious flat in a good part of London, and I didn't really argue that much. I was like, well, as long as my album come out, and, you know, they give me the rest of my bread, you know, and I can keep on pushing from there. So, but I mean, basically, yeah, I produced it, but rightfully, technically, you know, it was co-produced between myself, Brian Chuck New, and his partner. I can't remember his partner's name, but Brian Chuck New is he's known mostly for producing a couple of joints for Kool Moe Dee back when. He did about 3 or 4 joints for Kool Moe Dee.
Back, and then what label did Hawaiian Sophie come out on?
That was EMI.
Okay.
I was the first rap artist ever signed to EMI Records.
And that was major. That was major. So I guess y'all did a whole tour and all that off of that.
Yeah, my first tour wasn't really my tour. I was opening up for Jody Watley in 1989. I went out with Jody Watley for like 5 weeks. That was my first tour, and then next year in 1990, you know, we did a big college tour. Myself, you know, Main Source, you know, who was basically Large Professor, right, and the UMCs who had Blue Cheese, you know, their gold single. I think actually that single went platinum.
Yeah, that was really hot at that time. I remember seeing them. They came through Hammerjacks here in Baltimore. I definitely remember that. We got 1, 2, 3. We got JAZ O on the line, of course. Diamond K, Anonymous. I want to take a quick break and jump onto this Gangsta Ride single, and then we will come back, talk some more with JAZ O and Anonymous. Is that all good, y'all?
All good.
All right, so we're going to take a break real quick, come back right after this. Yours truly, Diamond K, the lovely Anonymous, and our special guest, JAZ O.
Yes,
JAZ,
yes.
Are you still there?
Yeah,
all right,
question.
Man. You got a lot of explaining to do. I guess we started maybe
I'm
that
good.
Early. I guess in our story we haven't reached that point.
Right.
But I guess so. You know, you had the Hawaiian Sophie thing, and I guess that when that popped off, like things probably got real crazy for you in your neighborhood. Because I mean, down here, I mean, you was all over the video channels and all that down here. So I know probably in New York it probably was crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I moved out of Marcy like 3 weeks after I came home. Like we came home like about a couple of days after New Year's, you know, like January 1989, and I moved out of Marcy like 3 weeks after that. It wasn't a problem like, oh, you know, like the vultures came out. It's like, oh, Jazz got a deal, you know, let's see, you know, did he come home with some trinkets? Because, you know, I'm that way in my hood, you know what I'm saying, to this day. Like they already know what it is. But as far as like it getting crazy, what was really crazy was the fact that I had gone through all of this stuff, like recording and everything, being in London, you know, like me, Jay, and Irv. You know, Irv went home like a couple of weeks before my album release party in London. But none of this stuff really hit me until I was in, knowing I'm in London, I'm in an American-made limousine, I'm in a Cadillac, and I'm riding to my album release party. And at that point, that's when it hit me, and it was kind of scary. I think every artist goes through that. Like if they get a big deal or what have you, it's like they just going through the motions and doing what they got to do. You know, you on your grind, you got to do interviews and everything. Then all of a sudden, when you get that one moment to yourself, you looking around, it's like,
really absorb it, yeah.
yeah, so, oh shit, I'm major. Like, you know, it's crazy because you know, people who have common sense, like, you don't look at yourself like that. Like, you don't really believe all of that hype because you know it's you. But at the same time, it's like, oh shit, I'm major. Like, all this hoopla is over me. I'm not the observer. Like, I'm the axis. So it was crazy. That was the most crazy experience, you know, and you know, it was just all regular from there. Like, I don't really trip.
We got a couple more calls. Let me take another call real quick and see what's going on. Yo, you on with Big Jazz O? Who's this?
Hey,
hello.
You got me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. This is Tony Too True, man. I just wanted to show some big love for my boy Jaz O, man. I'm
good looking out.
Yeah, one of Steve Penn's partners, man. Jaz O, do your thing, man. God bless you, man. We love you. We support you, man. We networking with you, for you. And just keep doing big things, man. You know, just keep doing big things, man. I'm going to kick back and keep enjoying the interview, man. And I just want to say God bless, man.
No question, man. Love right back to y'all, man. And, you know, your check will be in the mail, too, homie.
Oh, my God.
Because I might as well finish it off because, like, all my people call. They might like, oh, this thing I just set up. But in all honesty, I never set this up. I don't set it up. They really support me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no fluke or nothing. They really showing support, and I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess at that point, so you mentioned it. So you had JZ. He was on the road with you on those early days.
Oh yeah.
How did
that
y'all
was
meet?
one. We met actually. You know, I went to Old Dominion University in Norfolk, and I'm the original college dropout. And
you know what?
I went to, you know, I came back to Marcy, and when I came back to Marcy, my man Knight called me. If you're not familiar, my man Knight from the Shirt Kings, and if y'all know anything about hip hop, especially, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s, like Shirt Kings, like if you ain't have a Shirt King shirt or, you know, some design jeans by Shirt Kings, like even as an artist, like you weren't even official. Well, anyway, Nike was from my projects, and when I came home, Nike called me, and I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "Yeah, man, it's this young kid. You know, they call him Shawnee D or something like that." He's like, "My man Sean, he lives around my way," and I was having an argument with some cat, nigga talking about this young kid, he the nicest nigga in Marcy, and he was like, "Nah, as long as Jazz here, Jazz is the nicest nigga, period." You know, so they going back and forth. So he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna bring him around your way, and y'all do whatever." And I was like, "Oh boy, here we go." You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I never backed down to any of that. So, you know, it ended up just being a little rhyme session after I rhymed, just to make things short. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
that's
you said he was using his government name. Where did, because this, I always have.
You know where it came from.
Where did, well, see, I can't say it. You got to say it. So where?
Okay.
His name is Sean Carter, right? Okay, and his middle name doesn't start with a J, if I remember correctly.
His middle name is Corey.
Right. So where does Jay-Z come from out of Sean Corey Carter?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what he says. What he has told interviewers in the past is that he adopted his name from this DJ kid that we used to call, like he called himself Jazzy. But Jazzy was around a whole lot longer, like before, when he was still being called Shawnee D. But when he and I started doing things and I asked him his name, he was like, "I don't really have a name." He was like, "They was calling me Shawnee D." I was like, "Okay." And then out of nowhere, it became Jay-Z. And of course, I didn't say anything because he was, you know, we clicked from the beginning.
So you didn't take offense to it?
Of course. Now, I looked at it, and I still look at it as a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that, you know, he has branded worldwide, probably on some planets in our solar system also. And, you know, there's nothing he could do about it. And that's the biggest compliment he could ever give me. So he tried to say that it was somebody else, but it's like, come on now. I was Jazz and you were JZ, you know, and you know, you were under my tutelage. So come on, 1 + 1 is 2.
Wow. So I guess now at this point, you're definitely at a different level than where he was. But if we fast forward a couple years, where did you fall out with EMI?
I didn't really fall out with EMI. It was more like they didn't. It was my management to an extent, because they had somebody on the inside at EMI, but they didn't have the know-how. Like, on a creative level, they didn't know what to do. I knew what to do, but I couldn't convey my ideas across properly, because especially at that time, they just looked at rap artists as like, oh, all you know how to do is rap, but you don't know marketing, you don't know promotion, you don't know how to brand yourself. And I'm sitting there trying to tell them things, but it was just falling upon deaf ears. So I was like, fuck it, I don't owe y'all no money, I don't owe y'all nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I just went about my business. I was getting my royalty checks and, you know, getting my money from my production company, and I kept it moving.
At that point, did you get sour to the rap part of the game and just want to concentrate on the production?
Nah, what made me bitter was the inability of major record companies at that time to market rap, you know, or market hip hop, and most of them didn't listen. And the smartest entity at that time was Warner Brothers, because they picked up Tommy Boy, and then they eventually picked up Cold Chillin'.
Mm-hmm.
So they recognized that, look, you know, in order for us to win, we have to be involved with somebody who knows the street and knows the ins and outs of how to market and promote this hip hop music or the street music, you know. So I commend Warner Brothers for that, you know, around that time. But the rest of the labels, they were just like, you know, they just like throwing rocks in the dark.
Right, and just seeing what would stick. Did Jay-Z reach out to you anywhere during this time for you to try to give him advice on what direction that he should go in? This is, I guess, tied to Reasonable Doubt.
Nah, let me give y'all a quick story. Let me tell y'all something about Jay-Z. All right?
Yeah. Okay.
Jay-Z uses people because, as you see, he finds somebody who can help him get to the next level. If you have more than Jay-Z has, then he's coming to see you. I'm sure there are a lot of multimillionaires and billionaires who are being disturbed or being, you know, or being hawked by Jay-Z right now, because he's always looking for somebody who has more than him so that he can acquire what they have, you know. And I watched it, and I didn't want to believe this. I didn't want to acknowledge this myself, but I looked at my experience, then I looked at Irv Gotti's experience, I looked at Dame's experience, I looked at Clark Kent's experience, all with Jay-Z. Some other people that I can't mention because it's dealing with some other things that I don't really do. I don't do that. So,
okay.
You know, but
and
basically,
I guess from your own personal experience too.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to believe it, but it happened to me. As soon, you know, when it came to a point where he didn't need me to get things, as far as, you know, him acquiring things, when he felt that he didn't need me anymore, you know, I just drifted out of the picture. Basically, like when Damon came along and Damon was willing to put him up front and make him, you know, and brand him and everything else, then it was a wrap. They look at it and they try to blame me because I didn't want to be managed by Dame, and that they think I influenced Sauce to not be managed by Dame, but Sauce ended up being managed by Dame and Jay, and he was unsatisfied, and all that.
Now you mentioned that why? Or I guess maybe I don't want to say why, but I'm gonna say why. Why did you give, or why did the Ain't No Nigga song to Jay-Z? Why wasn't that a JAZ O song?
Because for the most part, to use the sample was Jay's idea. But he didn't, and that's what he's telling everybody, but he's trying to make the whole concept with the singing and all of that his idea, and that's not true. To use the concept of the song was his idea. Even to use the melody from Ain't No Woman Like the One I Got by the Four Tops was his idea. But he didn't know how to put it together.
Right.
He just knew that he wanted those two things because he liked those two things, and he wanted those two musical concepts to marry.
So you basically
engineered it for him.
So you pretty much say you engineered it for him.
No, I produced it because he went to Clark Kent, and this is what at first I used to not say nothing about it, but it's not a discredit to either one of those cats. He went to Clark Kent and he went to DJ Premier, and they didn't pull it off. And then he came at me third, and what he said to me after I already talked to these two gentlemen, he said to me, I came to you first because I know if anybody could do what you can. And I'm just looking at him like, dog, these dudes got respect for me. I introduced you to these dudes. You think they ain't sit there and tell me already that you came at them to produce this song? I'll do everything. So that's when I knew what kind of person he was for real. But basically, I put it together like what I did was being at the sample of 7 minutes of funk was so offbeat, though it's very soulful. It wasn't. It was a live band. So the first thing a producer would do, a hip hop producer, is to want to sequence it.
Definitely.
But what happens is you would have to change. The technology wasn't there at the time, or at least not in that studio, to change the actual speed of the sample without changing the pitch. Of course, we have that now, with Pro Tools and all these other, programs. But basically, what I had to do was the same thing that the live band did. And what I did was I separated the main sample that I wanted to use into like six different pieces, and I just played it live over the 2-inch tape.
Wow.
So
it was always hard for me to bring in the beginning. But once you got more familiar with it, you could just drop it. But yeah, so that answers that question, the beginning part.
Not even. I mean, it wasn't. I could program if it was timed right. I could still program that beginning part because I know where it would have to drop. You know what I'm saying, within a bar sequence. But the problem was that when it starts going boom, 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 it gradually starts speeding up.
Right.
But that was the part that was desired, so I had to find a way. So what I did was I just did it on feel the same way a musician would do it, and I separated it into 6 different pieces, and I just played it live for like 5.5 minutes over a 2-inch tape. That's how I did it.
That's crazy. I guess we fast forward a little bit to, I guess now we're at the Hard Knock Life period. Where the Nigga What Nigga Who, the originated 99 song we was talking about.
Right.
A lot of people think that your verse was better. I've heard different versions of that. Did y'all record your parts at the same time? Did you feel any competition?
Nah, I didn't feel any competition. First of all, because and don't take this the wrong way, just take it the way I'm saying it. I feel that I'm the best MC that ever lived.
Okay.
I feel like my clarity is more.
I said that's a hell of a statement.
Because my clarity is clearer than anybody, And if any of these MCs, no matter how many records they sold, if they sat there and they told the truth to you, they'd tell you, like, nah, I can't find not one of my rhymes that I feel is better than this dude's best rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give it up to a couple of cats, but I give it up because they're talented. I don't give it up because I feel they better than me, because nobody's better than me. I'm fucking phenomenal. And I'm not saying that out of ego. I'm not saying that out of, I'm trying to, brand myself as the new king of rap and all that shit. I don't need to be king of rap. I'm beyond that. I'm way beyond that. But anyway, I had to get my my alter ego MC shit off real quick.
These lines are lit. These lines are lit up. Let me go to another call real quick. Yo, you on with JAZ O? Who's this?
Yeah, this is Snub Magnum calling from out the 503 area. That's Portland, Oregon.
Okay, Portland,
Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah, we
out to Portland.
Going on stuff over here. Yep, rap's definitely alive over here. I say that much. Really, I've been tuning in, and I know there was kind of some lag between my computer and everything, so I'm not sure what the conversation, mixed or changed. But I want to say, like, for the record, I got to give you your credit, JAZ O, because I think you're like one of the most uncredited hip hop artists from the beginning of time to still be in the game. And the one thing about artists, you got to take, because like I'm an artist myself. Like I done chopped it up with you over the internet shit, and just got some feedback from you for JAZ O. Keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
So I respect what you tell me, and then by the time you got to look at it like. This dude Jay-Z, he's on everybody's, radio, iPod, or whatever, and it began with you kind of showing him the way. So, for you not to get your credits due, the same as with the Dame situation with him and all that, like, I'm from the outside looking in, like, as a fan of music. And
right.
I definitely feel what you're saying about it's a tendency, it seems like, with character to take advantage of whatever situation he gets put in, but it's part of the game, man. It's just, you got to get your due credits. So I'm calling to give you your credit, definitely.
Yo, I appreciate that, man. I swear to everything I love. But check this out. What's important for people to know is that success and money are two different things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That, the way that we're socially programmed to look at success always, or most of the time at least, translates as how much money you have. And unfortunately for most people, and especially the kids nowadays, they are being taught that success means how much money you retain, but never is it talked about how this money is attained. Never the political aspect of things. Never the compromises that people make with their morals and their physical bodies. You know what I'm saying? To attain certain things. And these are the things that are not talked about, but and it's not me making an excuse. I just tell it like it is, and I know I'm successful because I tell everybody right now, you can go look at my pictures because I don't care about a number. I'm 45 years old, and I spit the same way I spit when I was 21. So, for everybody that says like, oh, this is a young man's game or what have you, basically, if you look at the top selling artists or the artists that are in the game that, most people listen to right now, they basically veterans.
Right. Because it takes a veteran to know, to really understand the business part of what's going on, and it takes you a while before you get there. So I wanna take another quick break. Thanks for the call too. That's a good call. And we pretty much set up this record, lovely, Friends Betrayed. So we're going to get into that, and we're going to come back. And I got some Twitter questions, and I know Anonymous got something she want to ask you too, but I got some Twitter questions when we come back after this. Monday Night Live, we're back. JAZ O, Anonymous. Yeah. Anonymous, you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, what, you got a question?
I do, and this is, it doesn't have anything to do about... Okay, it doesn't have anything to do about Jay-Z, anything. It's off topic, but I want to know this. Okay, JAZ O. Who do you like that's out now? Like, whose music are you really feeling like in hip hop right now?
Man, wow. I'm a Locks fan, so like to be quite honest with you, you know, like Styles P, Jada, I'm waiting for another G-Rap album. That's out today. You know, see, with me, right, a lot of times it takes a lot for me to say, like, I dig an artist. I mean, like, songs from an artist. You know, like, I like a couple of Jeezy songs. You know what I'm saying? I like some of Lil Wayne's older songs.
I was going to ask you about Lil Wayne and how you felt about him as an artist. You know, I did another interview and I said something about Lil Wayne and they, you know, and then Vlad TV picked it up and made it seem like I was going in on Lil Wayne.
I saw that.
And I really wasn't. You know, I may say some things that are the truth that I feel that I need to say, or just what I choose to say, because, you know, I do that. I say what I choose. And you know, I said something, but I can't remember right off what I said, but it wasn't anything that was disrespectful or anything. But I mean, but if it was, you know, then that's just what it would be. But I'm just saying, you know, for the record, you know, I wasn't going in on Lil Wayne. Like, I don't do that. I don't have to do that. You know, I got a mission, and everybody gonna know exactly what I'm doing when I do it, because I'm about to do it. But yeah, you know, I'm more into songs, you know, like I'm into songs, right? Because I mean, when you talk about artists, like you telling me what artists I like, I'm gonna have to go back on you and tell you like Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, and you know what I'm saying? Like I'll keep it funky with you, like those. That's what I like, and I'm not making hip hop small in any aspect in it or in any way by saying that. I'm just saying that, you know, when you talk about artists that I really like that I listen to, like just on GP, if they say such and such got an album out, it will be somebody like Styles P or G-Rap, you know. I mean, I want to hear another Foxy album. I mean, this whole hip-hop thing is a sausage party right now. It ain't right. You know?
Keisha.
It ain't right. You know, and you can't be mad. You can't be mad when niggas saying that mad niggas are gay. You know what I'm saying? You can't be mad because there ain't no women around. Like, come on. Like, that's like a party. Like, who wants to walk in the party like a heterosexual man? Like, who wants to walk in the party and all you see is a bunch of niggas? It's time to go.
Well, see, the only thing about that,
start playing
and
fucking.
I got a question for you from Keisha, but my thing about that is just that if you're a guy and you riding in the car, can you really be riding, bumping like a female artist? Like, how you gonna relate to that?
Yo, I used to relate to shit like Yo-Yo. Remember Yo-Yo?
Yeah,
Yo-Yo is gangster.
Yes, he was.
You know what I'm saying?
Man would.
Right, and don't even play like Foxy. You know, people say like, well, somebody wrote some of this or somebody wrote some of that. All I know, I was 2:30 in the morning. We were in D&D, and Foxy was writing that verse on the back of a Sugar Hill Gang album cover, a vinyl album cover on the inside. She wrote the joint on there. You know what I'm saying? And like Foxy, I don't know about Foxy now because I haven't heard anything, but you know, I want to hear that. I want to hear that, and it's out there too. It's just they have like there's an agenda, you know. And it has to be because, come on, women got men outnumbered 30-1. So, you know, hip-hop being a microcosm of society in a whole, like, it should be proportionately, you know what I'm saying? It should be proportionately, you know, ratio-wise. It should be the same.
I agree.
Right.
So it should at least be half and half, but it's a straight sausage party. But I mean, you know, if you can't bump a vibe to a lot of that, maybe a lot of the women artists today you can't, or either because you don't hear them and then, you know, you have to search for them, or you just don't vibe to it. I mean, that's you. But me, like, I mean,
I used to listen to, like, you know, because Ice Cube used to always feature Yo-Yo on his joints, and I used to love those joints. And I like Yo-Yo joint. Can't play with my Yo-Yo, and, you know, she be telling niggas what time it is, backing niggas off and shit. Like, that shit was gangster.
It was, for real. But I was a big Patra fan. I'm sorry.
Where did that come
from? No doubt.
I don't know where that came from, but I want to shout out to Patra. I'm sorry.
He said, I can't believe you said that.
She said that call in.
That's funny.
She tried to call in, but the lines was, you know, she wasn't able to get through. So she sent her question. She wants to know about Kings County.
Oh yeah, well, Kings County is my company. Kings County Entertainment is my production company. You know, we still a baby company. We growing into a record company. Like all of my production as of late, you know, for myself is going through, you know, Kings County Productions and Kings County Entertainment. And, you know, it's called Kings County.
You had an album with that title too, didn't you?
Yeah, it was JAZ O. JAZ O presents the Mobile Area, Kings County.
Right.
Yeah, that was 2002. And ironically, we had a single off of that compilation called Let's Go, and it's featuring Jay-Z and this cat named DiBiase.
Now, I also got somebody hit me up on Facebook. What role did you play, and I was unaware of this, if any, in the Jay-Z Nas feud?
Everybody thinks that, but I had nothing to do with that. Yeah, I'm gonna set the record straight. I had nothing to do with that. Like I don't do that. Like before I do something like that, like I let people know, like that's my fault. Like I'm honest like that. And to my friends and even friends that I'm sort of not, we not on a proper level of friendship at the time, it's like I'm still too real. So I couldn't do that. I wouldn't go behind nobody's back. Like, what people got to understand is that Nas and Irv Gotti have a relationship. And, you know, Irv was around. And Nas knew us, too, because when I was telling you about the college tour that we did, you know, with UMCs and Main Source, you know, that's when we all met Nas. That's, you know, all of us, meaning me and Jay. That's when we met Nas, because at the time, you know, Main Source had out Live at the Barbecue, and we were at Norfolk State, and they came out because Norfolk State, you know, of course, was one of our biggest shows, because half the people that go to Norfolk State is from New York anyway. So that was a big show, and that's when we met Nas. And that's how Nas knew so much about everything, because not only that, like, he knew me as Jazz, like he knew my history, because, you know, Nas is a hip hop, you know, he's a fan as well as an artist, you know what I'm saying? So he knows what's going on.
So you set the record straight. You did not give Nas any fuel for Issa, because that's her direct question.
Nah, I didn't. If I did, it was indirect, and it was only because he knew what was true. That's it. I never sat down with Nas and said, like, yo, you kill him with this record. You know, I never sat down. That never happened. And I never sat down with Irv Gotti. And I can tell you what did happen. It's scary. My memory, like, everything is, like, it's so clear. Like, what happened was K. Slay, he put out a mixtape. It was like a number 13. And when he got that song from Nas, he put out another mixtape right behind it called 13A. And he put Ether on it. And around that time, up at Universal Building, Murder Inc. and Rockefeller was on the same floor. And what happened was, it was myself, B-High, Jay's cousin, and Tata, and we got the we got the K Flay CD from one of the workers at Irv Gotti, at Murder Inc. that kept playing it over and over and over again. I had gotten up there later, and B-How was already telling me that this nigga was playing this shit all day. Like, he played this shit like 15, 16 times, either out of spite or because he just liked it, or maybe he didn't like Jay-Z. But so they played it so he got the CD from him and played it for me. We went in one of the offices, one of the Rockefeller offices, and he played it, and everybody was kind of looking at me to see my reaction, because around that time things were starting to get kind of sour between me and Jay. So they were trying to see my reaction, and I was like, so at the end when it ended, they was like, so what you think about that? I was like, what I'm supposed to say? Like, he got nothing to do with that. Like, what I'm supposed to say? I'm supposed to jump to Jay's defense? Like, he rhymes. Well, do what he do. I didn't have anything to do with that. Huh?
I said, were you ever an artist on Rockefeller?
Nah, you don't know that story?
No. I mean,
let me kick it to you.
I know versions of it, but I haven't spoken with you about it. So, I mean, we heard a lot of different versions.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to make it short as possible. I was doing some things. I started, going to the studio on my own just to do songs and everything else. And one day, Dame approached me. It was like, Jay wanted to know, if you ready to, hop on board. And I was like, as far as I was concerned, I was already on board. But he was like, nah, we want to make it official. I was like, all right, so if it's official, that means you're going to put up some money.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not that I'm greedy. It's just, I put up some money. So I asked them some basic questions. I was like, all right, how much money we talking about as far as a recording budget? They said $150,000. I was like, okay, am I going to control that budget? He said, no. He being Damon. I said, am I going to be able to control the POs, which I know is the purchase orders when you do the studio situation? He said, no. I said, am I going to be able to audit y'all? Because as far as I'm concerned, if I can't control those two things, then I can go in the studio and y'all could spend like $55,000, and then y'all going to be trying to recoup $150,000 from me. I said, can I control that? Can my accountant audit y'all books? He was like, nah, we're not going to set up nothing for that. And I was like, well, I can't sign nothing. And I was like, that's slavery, dog. And I walked out the office. And then right after that, a little bit after that, Jay goes on Hot 97 and talks to Angie Martinez and tells her that, I don't know what's wrong with Jazz. We offered him a deal and he turned it down. He tells half the story. Yeah, because he's a crab. Son is a crab. I tell people all the time, and anybody knows me, they know how strong that is, because I don't go on radio and I don't go most anywhere else and just call people out and just call them outside their name. Like, homie is a crab.
Right, that.
Wow.
There was a point where I
don't even know, like, the dude that y'all hear now on records, like, I don't even know that dude. I don't even know him.
Is there, so I guess with that being said, and the records I've heard recently, I guess there's no way that y'all can reconcile.
I mean, it ain't that serious because, I don't date men. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that serious.
From a business perspective.
Money talks. That's all I'm saying. It could only be business, but I say this. I'd rather make $15 million throwing these missiles at him than to get 30 from him, to sign under him, and then he put me under the rug like he did with Nas.
Right. Right. Okay. How did you hook up with Game on the first song we played?
I'm pretty decent friends with Jimmy Henchman, Magic's Game, and
Peoples.
And, shout out to Czar Entertainment. And basically what happened when Sony Studios was still open in Manhattan, Game was recording there. Now, oddly enough, that song is probably close to 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, me and Game, we hit it off right away. And, I was hanging in the studio, because a lot of cats was bringing beats through, Swizz and them was coming through, a lot of cats was coming through playing beats for dude, and, we was just vibing. And what happened was, Game was like, yo, man, that triplet shit, yo, that double time, that shit is crazy. Like, yo, we got to do a song. I'm like, you got to do a song where you rock like that. So we were listening to beats one day, and that beat came up, and he was like, yo, what's good? I was like, all right, let's pop. And that's what happened. Originally, there were other people on the song, and through the magic of Pro Tools, I did what I had to do, and we made that happen. And I added a verse onto it, and you got Gangsta's Ride.
Which is hot.
Thank you.
If anybody, and I think that it's going to be little darts thrown back and forth between y'all camps for a minute. I don't see any end in sight. He gonna throw little jabs here and there the way he normally does.
I ain't throwing no jabs. I'm throwing I'm throwing H bombs. Like because a lot of people don't understand. They don't understand. I've been playing with this dude for like up to now. Like I've been playing with dude. Like people might think like, oh, he went hard on Over and this, that, and the other.
Right.
Like those are playthings. Like I could shut him down where he can't say nothing. All he could do is say, no, that didn't happen. And then I'm just gonna do a DVD with about 20 or 30 witnesses from Marcy Projects saying that that did happen. And you were invisible. And Jazz did make you a person, And I'm not. And for the listeners, I'm not an angry dude. And anybody who knows me, I'm not a hater. And I don't get anything. I don't get any, I don't feel good about going at niggas, whether it's some street shit or whether it's just some rap shit. Like it does nothing for me. It actually pains me more than anything. But I feel it's necessary because sometimes you just got to end the bullshit. And somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to take out the trash.